First on Fox, police have confirmed one person is dead after a crash involving a semi-truck and a Jeep on I-255. Now that interstate is closed right now past Telegraph, and there is still a heavy police presence on that scene. Missouri State Highway Patrol reconstruction team is also on that scene right now. As we learn more, we'll keep you updated both on air and online. And the St. Louis County Police Department is taking over an investigation after remains of a Hillsdale man have been identified. We first reported that Jarius McGee went missing last fall. After months of searching, his body has now been identified. Fox 2's Ty Hawkins shares the story. Meanwhile, St. Louis County has a new police chief. He's the first African-American to hold the job. Chief Kenneth Gregory moved up from acting chief after Mary Barton unexpectedly stepped down last summer. He began his career with St. Louis County Police 42 years ago as a recruit. Chief Gregory graduated with a Bachelor's of Science degree in education from the University of Missouri-Columbia and is also a graduate of the FBI National Academy. And two recent tragedies are on the minds of St. Louis firefighters tonight. Fox 2's Jeff Bernthal reports on the dangerous combination of this extreme cold and vacant buildings. The Loop Trolley Board has received a 1-month extension to finalize a plan to get that trolley up and running. The deadline is now set for March 1st. The federal government granted the extra time, and this comes as the board struggles to pinpoint a plan of action with local businesses. The trolley has been closed after it broke down in 2019. If that plan does not get approved, the city and county risk having to give back more than $22 million that's already been used. And leaders of the St. Louis Metro Task Force said today the region is starting to see some progress in the fight against the Omicron variant. The task force hospitals are reporting that total COVID hospitalizations are at 1,026. Daily COVID admissions are at 134. Daily COVID deaths are still high at 18. The task force says its projections show that the numbers will continue to decrease in the coming weeks. Nearly 24 Republican lawmakers in Jefferson City want to not only prohibit businesses and schools from requiring the vaccine, but also protect them from any federal law in the future. The legislation ranges from allowing natural immunity to be the same as immunity from a vaccine. Another bill would allow the General Assembly to control state money from going to an entity that requires vaccine passports or vaccination. Of the 19 proposals heard today in a committee, the Missouri Chamber of Commerce says it opposes nearly all of them. Another proposed bill would require public health agencies to pay back any business who was fined for not complying with COVID regulations or orders. Lawmakers have until May to approve legislation and send it to the governor. Tensions continue to rise along Russia's border with Ukraine. About 127,000 Russian soldiers are now in position near its eastern borders. The U.S. has 8,500 troops on heightened alert for a potential deployment to Europe. The State Department has argued against advanced sanctions, saying it would cause the U.S. to lose its leverage. An Ohio Democratic senator says if Russia invades, the U.S. will make them pay a high price. A bipartisan congressional delegation is currently traveling to Ukraine, even amid these tensions. And coming up, there's a group of 4th graders at a Pattonville elementary school that took their lesson into action. We'll take you to the surprise at a local hospital today. The school says counselors and school staff will be available tomorrow for support for students. Now to the extensive search to locate Brian Laundrie, the fiance of 22-year-old Gabby Petito. Welcome back. We are continuing to cover this breaking news of a devastating tornado that has tore through the St. Louis metro area. Some of the most devastating images that we have seen tonight from the Edwardsville, Illinois area, where 50 to 100 Amazon workers are trapped inside of that warehouse. Fox 2 Sports Director Martin Kilcoyne joining us now live from Busch Stadium. Martin, 17 victories in a row and a playoff spot. I know it has been a wild night, but it's ended with a wild card. Welcome back. A mom in New Jersey got a surprise credit card bill, all because her toddler went on an accidental shopping spree. The 22-month-old bought nearly $2,000 worth of items. The mom says the toddler was playing with her cell phone. Look at all of those boxes. He managed to open the Walmart app and order several items, and the family didn't realize what had happened until boxes started being delivered to their home one after another. Mom says playtime with her cell phone will be supervised from now on, and she says she's very grateful for Walmart's return policy. I just want to know what he bought. Lots of toys, maybe? First on Fox, there's concern over a string of thefts in St. Louis where thieves are getting into cars at gas stations while drivers are just feet away. Fox 2's Stephanie Rothman tells us which 11 gas stations have been hit. Tonight, a lot of the response and damage all centered around the collapse of an Amazon warehouse in Edwardsville. We're going to check in with Fox 2's Amelia McGavra, who's live on the scene. But first, we want to head over to Chief Meteorologist Glenn Zimmerman. And Glenn, you have been tracking this for going on 5 hours now.
You came from Sacramento. You're now in St. Louis. I know you're going to do a great job. St. Louis is going to love you. I just know it.
I love the city already.
A Fox 2 follow-up. The Parkway School District says it has identified the student responsible for racist graffiti found at Parkway Central High School earlier this week. Turning to weather now, there's been a lot of active weather the past few days, not just here in St. Louis, but some big tornadoes out in the plains. Let's bring in Fox 2 extreme weather specialist Chris Higgins. Hey, Chris. He's always so positive, though. You got to give that to him. Taking a live look outside now at our Powers Insurance Bureau camera, looking east at I-64 on this Tuesday night. Our extreme weather specialist is out in the field explaining why bridges freeze up so much faster than other roads. Now, hopefully, this is not something we'll have to worry about anytime soon. But, Chris, we all know it's eventually on the way. And yes, of course, Cardinals fans are disappointed with tonight's result, but they're also optimistic that this team can make a long playoff run because, well, they've proven they can win 17 games in a row. Fox 2's Jeff Bernthal caught up with fans watching tonight's game at Ballpark Village. In Defiance, Missouri, the same tornado system has damaged multiple homes in that area. That was a rescue mission, but as of now, we have learned that that person has been able to be taken out of the home.